Hi guys, my name is Marissa Trejo and today I'm going to be explaining to you guys my environmental print interactive bulletin board idea. So the way that I would have this laid out in my class would be like this. I would have the title saying, Kids, what do you see? Kind of like relating it to the brown bear, what do you see book. And what I would have is I would have the layout of all of the letters. So we would have the rectangles for each letter or a section for each letter in the bulletin board. And right now, what you see here is that they are all filled in. But I would just have a skeleton of the interactive bulletin board. And what I would do is I would give the students newspapers, magazines, store weekly ads, or anything that they could use so they can explore with their group and cut out any familiar stores they know or they see. And not just stores, but it could also be fast food places. And I would just give them a certain amount of material just so they won't all have the same um, stores or the same products, just so we can have a little variety. And then after I give the students time to explore with their group and they have them cut out their little cutouts of the store's name or the logo, I would then provide the students with a layout, kind of like what the bulletin board is, just with all the letters and a space in between, and then the letters again with a space, so they can put their cutouts in whichever space it belongs. If it starts with an I, then they should be placing it where the I is at. Or even if they don't know the name of the letter, they can just make the connection like, oh, look, it starts with the same letter, or it's the same letter that we see here. And that way, whenever we come back as a whole class, then it will be easier for them to share and for me to help them determine, oh, well, you know what? This logo is representing Krispy Kreme, and Krispy Kreme starts with the letter K. And I would have the students repeat it, and then we would pronounce or say the sound of that the letter K makes. So, like I said, I would give the students the materials for them to cut out any logos that they see any familiar stores that they know, or any fast food places that they know or they've been to. And then they would sort them out in their little page layout that I would give them, kind of similar to the bulletin board that I would be creating with all of the alphabet letters. And then after they're done with that, I would give the groups an opportunity to show their peers what they found. So that would just open up like a discussion, like if, for example, if a group shares that they found Panda Express, and I would then elaborate on that and then say, well, Panda Express starts with the letter P. The letter P makes the p sound. So we can just see how many students have been to Panda Express, or compare it to another store or fast food place that another group may have found, like for example with the letter P, continuing on with that, Pizza Hut or Popeyes. And that would just bring out more examples. And what we would be doing is, as they're sharing their their findings, as they're sharing the cutouts that they have, which won't be a lot, like I mentioned, I wouldn't be giving them so much material just so I won't overwhelm them as well. And what I would do is I would collect the cutout from them. Like I said, we would state the name, the logos or the restaurant or the store's name. We would say the letter's name and the letter sound. And then I would staple it in our bulletin board where under the letter that it belongs to. For example, like Panda Express, I would put it under the letter P. and so forth until each group has had the opportunity to share their findings and until our board looks a little more complete. Like here, I only have one example, that a possible example that the students could find in the materials that I give them, but there's many possibilities for each of the letters. So what I would also do to continue having this board be interactive in the classroom is that I would invite the students to bring any cutouts from their home that we could add to our bulletin board. So for example, they can bring out a cutout of their favorite cereal brand, and I would share it. They would share it with the class, and again, I would try to do that process of, well, for example, Fruit Loops starts with the letter F, and then we'll do the letter sound, and I would place it in our bulletin board. And as students bring in more cutouts, I would just continue that process, just to keep showing that we may find letters anywhere, or in our home, when we're driving, when we're going to the store. There's endless possibilities. And this other part goes a little beyond the interactive notebook, but I would also like to provide the students with environmental print books, individual books that they could use independently, where they can themselves glue any cutouts that they may see, or anything that they want to add into their interactive books, and not just cut and glue logos or names of stores or names of items, or fruits or any other thing, but they can also write in their little books the names of those stores or those items or those cereals or cookie brand, whatever it may be that they're finding in their environment. They can also write it in their book. So on the bottom of my interactive notebook, like I said, my title would be Kids, What Do You See? And we would have all of our examples with all of our letters for each of our letters. And I would have on the bottom letters all around me, because truly students are exposed to letters everywhere they go. So that is my idea for my environmental print interactive notebook. Thank you.